Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Former British boxer Richard Towers is claiming that Deontay Wilder hits 8 times harder than Tyson Fury. Yes, 8 times harder. Towers, he was 15-1 in his pro career, with that sole loss coming to Lucas Browne. He's been a professional sparring partner of sorts since he retired back in 2014, and he has sparred with both Wilder and Fury over the years. The Sun newspaper reports Towers as saying, "I've sparred with every single heavyweight you could possibly think of apart from Joseph Parker, and I know when it comes to power, Deontay Wilder is in a league of his own. Put it this way, he hits 4 times harder than Vitaly Klitschko. He hits 5 times harder than Vladimir Klitschko. He hits 6 times harder than Anthony Joshua. And he hits 8 times harder than Tyson Fury. That's no disrespect to Tyson because I really appreciate him and what he does. We sparred on and off for 2 years and he was great. But I have to be honest, this is the wrong fight to take right now. It really is. Tyson has just come back on the scene, and although he's a grafter, this isn't the ideal time for him to fight Wilder. He's moving okay against easy opposition, but he's got a big body and a big head to move out of the way for 12 rounds against Wilder. That's no easy task. The law of averages tells us that if you get in a fight, you're going to get hit. It's just a matter of time. And the thing Deontay has got accustomed to is hitting people. Worse than that, he just so happens to carry the type of power I've never felt from any other heavyweight. And Towers continues saying, Deontay hit me with a right hand clean on the chin. And it most certainly didn't feel the same when Tyson hit me, or Joshua hit me, or Povetkin hit me, or Vladimir hit me. They all hit me, but not like that. It felt like a fully formed pedigree horse kicking me in the face. Also, Deontay is quicker than you think he is, more skilled than you think he is, and he has got that measure of when to hit you and how to hit you. Tyson is a big man and he can move around the ring, he can box and he has tricks. If Deontay hits him, it's as good as over. At some point, Wilder will catch him, and trust me, Deontay hits just as hard in the 10th round as he does in the first. Those were Richard Towers' thoughts on how hard Deontay Wilder hits and his more general thoughts on how he thinks a fight will play out. So clearly he thinks Tyson Fury is really up against it and Deontay Wilder should be considered the favourite for this fight. He thinks Wilder will catch up with them. And the line that I liked the best in that series of quotes was that Wilder hits like a fully formed pedigree horse kicking in the face. That's some graphic imagery created in my mind's eye. I guess Towers, he's kind of aptly summed up the sort of problem and the task ahead for Tyson Fury. Going 12 rounds and not getting hit. It's going to be an incredibly hard task, even at the best of times, but he is coming off, a couple of years out of the ring, and he's only had these 2 low-level comeback fights against Sefer Seferi and Francesco Pianetta. It's going to be harder than if he was already at peak condition. I mean, I don't doubt that Fury is going to be boxing clever, because he will, and he's going to win some rounds off the back of his activity. He's going to look the better of the two technically. But I just can't get away from, I've been thinking this as well, and Towers said it, that eventually Deontay Wilder is going to catch him. And he believes, Towers that is, that at that point, it's all over. And Towers, he also raised how Wilder is quicker than you think, he's more skilled than you think, and he measures when and how to hit you. And I think that as Deontay Wilder has progressed, remember he came to boxing quite late on. He was 19 when he first stepped in a gym, and obviously he had quite a sort of long series of, learning fights. His title fight was in his 33rd fight. I think we have actually seen that he's really been sort of honing when and how to hit people. He's been honing that into a fine art, which I think we've seen that sort of sniping precision in spots against the likes of Gerald Washington and Luis Ortiz more recently. He waited for his opportunities, and when the time came, he took them and he really cleaned their clocks. He really landed some hard work, and it did change those fights. What's probably masked some of the progression is how ragged Deontay Wilder can get in the ring, especially when he does sense that the end is near And, his form completely deserts him. He does look, like he's a bit of a novice in there, just wildly flinging his arms, trying to sort of get the guy out of there. I mean, it's effective, but it doesn't look pretty. But it's certainly, obviously, from what Towers is saying, it's really sort of putting these guys in a world of pain. Sure, Tyson Fury, he's a different boxer to anyone that Deontay Wilder has ever faced. He's, obviously 6'9", well, allegedly 6'9". He's at least 6'7". But can Tyson Fury go 12 rounds without taking any significant shots? And remember, Deontay Wilder has signaled he's going to be looking to soften Fury up to the body. He's going to try work him over and, as you put it, touch him up to the body like he's never been touched up before. And his body is probably going to be a much easier target for Wilder to get at than his head, at least initially. I mean, Fury's got very good head movement. He'll be using feints. He'll be doing all sorts of trickery. So his body is going to be a bit more wide open to being hit. I do want to see Fury put on a show, but Prime Wilder, and that's what we're faced with here. It is Prime Wilder. He may not be denied. He wants to land something big with that right hand, and he could do it. I mean, some of it's probably going to come down to what sort of Fury turns up, but even then, it may not be enough. What do you make of what Richard Towers is saying, that Deontay Wilder is the hardest puncher that he's ever faced? He hits 8 times harder than Tyson Fury, even harder than Anthony Joshua, harder than the Klitschko's. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.